A big legal debate right now over billionaire Elon Musk handing out million-dollar checks via his pro-Trump super PAC to one random American every day until November 5th. The catch? You've got to be a registered voter in a key swing state and sign his conservative-leaning online petition.
All you have to do is sign a petition in support of the Constitution. It's very straightforward. You don't even have to vote. You don't have to vote. You just have to sign a petition saying you believe in the Constitution, which if you already believe in the Constitution, you're just signing something you already believe, and you can win $1 million. That's awesome.
But the big bucks giveaway is, as the New York Times puts it, quote, testing the bounds of election law. I want to bring in Professor of Law and Political Science at UCLA Law School, Rick Hasen. He is also an NBC election law analyst. It's good to see you. Fair to say we've never seen anything quite like this before. Is there anything legally that says Musk can't do this or shouldn't do this?
Right. So there are federal laws that apply anytime there's a federal candidate on the ballot, which is what we have coming up in November, that say that you can't pay anyone to register to vote or to vote. And so what essentially he's doing is he's setting up a lottery, and the only people who can participate are people who are registered to vote. So it's actually either creating an incentive for people to register to vote or a reward for them having already registered to vote. And it's clear that this violates the statute. And the Department of Justice has an election crimes manual that specifically mentions lotteries as an impermissible basis on which to get people to register or to vote.
So, Rick, a former chair of the Federal Election Commission told the Times that because Musk isn't directly paying people to register, but instead paying them to sign a petition, even if it's only open to registered voters, he, quote, comes out okay here. I mean, you even heard Musk telling the crowd in Pennsylvania there that they don't even have to vote. He says, in fact, that twice. So I just wonder what you think the case might be. Is it strong enough that somebody might bring it?
Well, first of all, if you want to sign the petition, you go to sign the petition, you look at what the eligibility is. And also, this is the eligibility to get those $100 payments from Musk. It says you must be a registered voter in a swing state. So imagine we have a contest. We say anyone can win $1 million if they wear a pair of glasses, but they also have to be a registered voter. Well, the glasses is just kind of a make-weight. You're really saying we're going to give you a chance to win if you register to vote. This is a federal law. It would be enforced by the United States Department of Justice. I don't expect we'd see anything before the election. DOJ moves very slowly on their criminal prosecutions, but nothing would stop DOJ from putting out a notice saying that this kind of contest is illegal, just like DOJ recently put out a notice saying that states can't have wholesale purges of voters in the 90 days before the election because that violates federal law.
So, of course, rich people giving money to campaigns in one way or another is nothing new, right? But I wonder if you look at it big picture, if there are laws that need to be considered here. We're in a place we've never seen before. First of all, a lot more billionaires than they have ever been, very publicly influential. Musk, for example, not only has money to burn, but he has X, formerly Twitter. Trump has said he'd make a new cabinet position for Musk if he's elected. So I wonder, are there laws out there? Do laws need to change because of the kind of changing influence we're seeing from people with deep pockets?
So to be clear, under current law, it's unconstitutional, thanks to the Supreme Court, to limit spending in elections. The Supreme Court decided that in 1976. They reaffirmed that in the Citizens United case in 2010. Congress tried to pass laws limiting spending by the ultra-rich in elections, and the Supreme Court said that that's a violation of the First Amendment. So all the other things that Musk is doing, his work with X, his giving the money to the super PAC, those are all considered legal under current system. And then the question is, do we want to think about amending the Constitution to change the role of the ultra wealthy? But that's really very different than what Musk is doing with this lottery, which seems to be a clear violation of federal law.
Rick Hasen, thank you so much.